Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's try this again. I just filmed this entire video with the wrong sound. So I hope you can hear me crystal clear. Welcome, thank you for being here. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about how to pick the right color for your roots or your base color. I have a lot of videos on my channel where we talk about how to avoid warm or red tones. I have a lot of videos on application methods for correct placement, but I've never done a video where I actually explain how to choose what color is right for you. So if you've ever colored your hair at home, you understand that there are at least these three things that you need to consider when choosing what color is best for you. First thing is brand, and I get this question all the time. What's the best brand that I should be using? And it really depends on what the result you're looking to achieve is, because there isn't one brand that's just better than the next. They kind of each bring their own thing. The next thing is, what developer do I mix this color with? We know that there's 10, 20, 30, 40 volume. There's also processing solutions and activating lotions. And then lastly, which level to use in order to achieve the color you're after. So let's just dive right in. I'm gonna start with the simplest one, which is developer. Typically, if you're working with color, so not lighteners, not highlights or any of that, we are talking about color specifically. Normally, you're gonna be using a 10 or 20 volume. Mixing it with a 30 or 40 volume, you're essentially diluting the pigment that's in the bottle, and you're upping the lift you're gonna be having with your hair. So you might be thinking, cool, like I wanna brighten up my hair, so I should be using 30 or 40 volume. Well, do keep in mind that when you are using color instead of lightener to lift your hair, you are going to expose a lot of your natural warm tones. We all have them. I have clients all the time saying, oh, I pull really warm. Every human on the planet will pull warm unless they're naturally platinum blonde. If your hair is darker than, say, a level 8 naturally, which is still pretty light, your hair has warm tones in it to make up that beautiful natural shade that you have. So that's why it's ideal to stick to either 20 volume or a 10 volume. Now, the ideal situation to be using a 20 volume is if you want to use permanent hair color and you have grays present. If you have grays that you're looking to cover, you want to use permanent color, not anything else, and you want to mix that with the 20 volume. The 20 volume is a perfect blend of enough opening up of the hair shaft and enough depositing of color into the hair, making it permanent hair color. 10 volume developer opens the hair a lot less, meaning that the color that you apply or mix that with is going to more sit on the outer shaft of the hair instead of going more deeply into the hair the way permanent color does with 20 volume. So say you've already colored your hair and you have a little bit of warmth and you're looking to slightly darken or at least tone down the warm tones. Going in with a 10 volume is ideal in this situation. The other aspect to think about is what type of color, whether it's permanent, semi-permanent, or a toner deposit only color. Now, the correct time to be using a semi-permanent is, say you don't have a ton of gray in your hair and you're not really looking to lift too much of your natural base. So basically a more subtle root touch-up. So demi-permanent is definitely more than a toner, which a toner typically just sits on the outer part of the hair. It essentially just stains the outside, whereas permanent color goes deep into the hair and is actually locked in there. So depending on what results you want, but the main factor here is how much warmth you want later. Now, if you have gray present, you kind of don't have as many options because permanent color is your main option. But if you're continuously getting a ton of warmth in your hair, it is a good option to go to a semi-permanent color. Now, the next thing to think about is what level. And I think this is an area where if you're starting to color your hair at home or you're looking to tell your hairdresser what it is that you want, level is normally not where people start, but I think it's one of the most important. I would say the first step is determining what tone you want. Do you want your hair to be ashier, more golden, or neutral? So a good balance of both. which is what I personally like for myself. So, okay, I want to go with a neutral. Now that's just half of it. You also have to decide what level you want to end up at. So say I'm naturally a level 5 or 6 on my roots, and that means the hair that actually grows out of my scalp naturally, not the color I already have on my ends. So let's say I'm a natural level 5 and I want to be a level 7. I would go in with a level 7 mixed with 20 volume in a neutral tone. I would recommend not lifting your hair any more than 2 levels. So level 7 is the highest you could go from a level 5 with color alone. Now you can absolutely reach a higher level by using lightener. You can do a very subtle baby light. I think people, when they think of bleach or lightener, they just think like bright blonde highlights. You can absolutely create something that's really subtle, but working with lightener versus color is going to remove so much more of those red tones, leaving you with a more sustainable color, a color that's going to remain more the same months from now. Whereas if you lighten with hair color, in 2 months, most likely you will have a ton of warm tones that are just overly exposed in the hair. And lastly, a toner or a deposit only. This is if you either want to darken your hair or you like the level that you're at, you're just not in love with the tone of your hair. That's when you would go in with a toner. There's no need to go in with permanent color. If you're gonna be doing that only, might as well only stain the outside of the hair. It's so much healthier on the hair and a lot easier. So if you're not looking to lift, you're looking to tone down any unwanted tones, or you wanna change up the tone of your hair, toner is the way to go. And typically toners should be mixed with a processing solution. Said it a lot on my channel. If there is a toner that is mixed with 20 or 30 volume, that's essentially just a color that has violety or toner pigments in it. But a toner specifically should be something that is deposit only. It's not lifting the hair. And when it comes to brands, for toners, I absolutely love Redken Shades EQ. In terms of color, if you're looking for great gray coverage and you're using Redken, you definitely want to stick to the N series, so 5N, 6N, 7N. If you're looking to go ash but still somewhat cover gray, Wella Professional is a great line. Not to be confused with Wella Color Charm, sold at Sally's. Wella Color Charm is a great line, but it is completely different than Wella Professional. And then when it comes to a semi or demi-permanent color, Dia Richesse by L'Oreal is absolutely my favorite. I think it has the best color payoff with the least amount of unwanted warmth in the hair. But of course, it's not going to give you much more than like one level of lift. So if you're not looking for extra lift, Dia Richesse is great. And again, if you don't have any grays, this line is going to be perfect for you. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I've learned so much from you guys in doing virtual consults now for over 3 years. I started during the lockdown thinking I was only going to be doing this for a couple of weeks until I was back in the salon and could take care of my clients that way. But here we are. I love connecting with you guys this way, and I really feel like I've helped so many of you achieve your hair dreams and color goals at home. So if you still have questions or you would like a virtual consult with me, I've left the email in the description box where you can email and book that today. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.